The Claaw! Hi! So, this is gonna be an IBM video. Yay! Yeah, so I just wanted to update you guys about where I am on making this crazy IBM beast, which is gonna take me forever. If you guys don't know, IBM stands for Invisible Black Matter, and that's what they call these creatures in an anime called Ajin. If you want to watch Ajin, it's a Netflix series, so you can stream it on Netflix. The English cast is really, really great. I haven't listened to the Japanese cast, but they're always great. I mean, duh. And actually, I think that the second season is coming out this fall or this winter, so it's a really good time to start it, in my opinion. So I'm going to start out by showing you my first draft. I made this when I first got the chicken wire, and I just needed to get my hands on it. I needed to start figuring out how this thing worked. I just needed to do something with it. But as you can see, the palm just wasn't working at all, and there are a couple of reasons for that. The first of them is that the fingers were just way too wide. I've been using the hexagons as a unit of measurement because it's just easier than getting out a tape measure at this point. And so they're like 9 hexagons tall, which I really, really loved, and they were 6 wide, which was too wide. That's the entire reason why I had to make the palm so big. But then there's also the fact that the palm is just a very weird shape. When you think about it, the majority of the body can be made up of cylinders that you just sort of squish in different ways, except I think maybe like the hips and the head wouldn't technically be cylinders. But then you get to the palm, and it's just sort of weird, and it has this thumb thing on it that changes it halfway through. It's very, very strange. So now I'm gonna show you what I was attacking myself with, but against the black, so hopefully you guys can actually see it. So I can't get all of this on there, but hopefully this gives you an idea of what this guy is. Grar. So the first thing about this is that its palm is significantly smaller. I actually decreased it to be almost the exact size of my palm. And I made it by sort of making an initial little square that was probably 4x4 hexagon, and then I just added on wire where I needed it to be a little bit taller in the middle or on the edge for these fingers, and then a little bit flatter, I guess, for the thumb. And then with the fingers, the first thing I decided was that I was going to use the anime version of the IBM instead of the manga version, because the manga version models IBMs more closely after humans in that their hands have 5 fingers, including the thumb. Now, when they made the anime, for some reason, they decided that they were going to take away one of those fingers. Whether or not that was to make it look more creepy, less human-like, I don't really know. But for me, it helps cut width, which is what I was trying to do with this second model. And then when it came to the fingers, I also cut down the 6 hexagon to a 4 hexagon, and then I kept the 9 length, because I think that the hands of an IBM are one of the things that make it really, really creepy. They aren't human hands, they're claws. They skewer someone at one point in the show. It's terrifying. And I want to make sure that I accurately capture that. Now, when it came to the thumb, this was a little bit different. The first thing I noticed was you can't really actually see it here, but I have an additional thing of chicken wire that's just a 1 hexagon strip wrapped around this area of the thumb. And that's because when you're working with chicken wire, you can't always attach things where you want to attach them. Sometimes the chicken wire's geometry dictates where you can put something. And because of how the palm was designed and how the thumb was designed, I had to put it a little bit further back than I wanted, and so I had to make a more dramatic curve. And when you curve a cylinder like that, it collapses in the spot of the most dramatic curve. So, strip of hexagon wire, fixed. Super easy. I was very glad it was easy. The other thing I did was I cut the height of the thumb. I think I took it from 9 hexagons to 6 or 7, and that's just because, the thumb's shorter than all the other fingers. It's a thing. I'm sorry, thumb, you're really small. But yeah, that's how it turned out. The fingers especially this one, are still very, very loose, but before I wrap them with probably muslin, I haven't quite decided if I'm going with muslin or cheesecloth for the base wrapping. I'm going to paper mache it and spray paint it black. I've decided to do this because it's going to really lock everything into place and it's going to smooth over some of those wire areas. It is going to add weight, which I will address in a second, but I think that the benefits definitely outweigh the drawbacks. Now, when it comes to design, I know I haven't really uploaded anything about it, and it's because I'm really bad at putting thoughts in my head onto paper. So just as a general idea, how this is going to go is the IBM is going to start at its probably right above the hips. So if you don't know what an IBM looks like, most of the time their waist, or the section from their rib cage to their hip bones, is just the spine. It looks really creepy. I love it. So it's going to start out with that area of the spine, and then it's going to go up with the rib cage. And I'm thinking the head's going to end up probably here, give or take. Obviously yeah, like that. I don't want it to be too tall because I don't want the weight to be throwing me forward or throwing me back. I really want it to be centered in my center of gravity. And then when it comes to the arms, the left arm, imagine this is my left shoulder, is going to be sort of pushing up like this, like the IBM is trying to get out of Kei Nagai's body to chase his enemy or whatever is happening, or to just disobey him because he feels like it. And then the right hand, which is the one I have made, is going to be reaching out, trying to grasp at whoever it is that is trying to run. Good luck. You can't run. And the right hand is actually my biggest concern at this point because, the rest of the structure is pretty grounded onto my body, and I'm still designing the harness that's going to distribute all of the weight, hopefully across my shoulders and hips. And, those are the two places where you want the weight because they're sturdy enough to handle it. But the right arm is going to be extended. And obviously that means that the hand especially is going to be at the mercy of gravity. And it's not too heavy right now, but I worry that once I get the paper mache, which hopefully I can get away with doing 1 or 2 layers of this, I really don't want a lot on there. I just want enough to smooth it out, just enough for the fabric. But yeah, I'm hoping that the weight is enough. I haven't come up with a backup design for the right arm if it goes wrong and it ends up collapsing the entire structure. I guess I would have to pull it back, bend the elbow a little bit, bring it closer to the center. But we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. I don't really know when I'm going to be able to work on this again because, working retail in seasonal and school, exams are going to start coming up faster than I care to think about. Way faster than I care to think about. And so, yeah, and I don't honestly know what I'm going to start next. I know I really need to start on, the main core of this guy, but we'll see when I actually have time to do that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a really, really wonderful Halloween. Bye!